course, the Northwestern story continues to be front and center for everybody, not just in Chicago, but everybody that's getting excited about the college football season. And, wondering if their school has got something that they haven't told us. Hayden Richardson was on Megan Hickey the other day on CBS, too.
They looked at us and said, well, what do you expect? You're a cheerleader. Isn't this part of the job?
So is it part of the job that if you're pretty, you get to be sexually harassed?
Yeah. That's the excuse that was given to her?
Well, let's find out. Hayden Richardson joins us now. Hayden, this has to be particularly annoying to you, this entire story, since you had this a couple of years ago. You have stated you went to authorities, and now here we are.
It's definitely upsetting. I wasn't shocked when the Northwestern football scandal happened because when we approached administration, they just looked at us and they were like, it wasn't a big deal, which means that this behavior was so normalized that it wasn't horrifying for them in the way it was horrifying for our team, because this was the first time that we had ever experienced something like this.
I don't want to minimize in any way, shape, or form what you say happened to you and the others on the cheerleading squad in particular, but it sounds trivial for me to say you're a pretty girl, you have to put up with it if that's the way you were treated. Did you want to add anything to that, or is that the umbrella it fits under?
I would say that's the umbrella that Northwestern behavior fits under. Northwestern assumed that this was acceptable because it was cheerleading. So while the actions for sure were more egregious, that was the behavior of Northwestern Athletics Administration.
Yeah, and Hayden, listen, cheerleading is a sport. You were there on a scholarship for your sport, and the fact that they said, oh, this is just cheerleading, it doesn't matter, is already insulting. But I feel like this might be the, hey, I told you so moment. You went and complained to your coaches, you complained to the higher-ups at the college, and they said, give us some backup. What was their response?
When we originally approached administration, they said, well, we're going to need evidence. So we went and recruited anonymous letters from our full team because we were young adults and we knew retaliation was a thing. But it looks like they asked us to do that because they didn't think we would actually be able to provide evidence. So it wasn't something that they were looking for actively, but was hoping to throw us off in doing.
This isn't even devil's advocate, but to ask a question others might be asking, pardon my voice, I've been struggling for a couple of days with that here.
You've been cheerleading?
Yeah, I've been cheerleading, and I'm not good at it. But people were thinking, well, were you a complainer? Were you somebody that yelled fire too many times? Were you that person, or was this the first time you brought it to them?
This was the first time I had ever brought anything forward. If anything, I was very active on my team, helping any way I could because I really care about cheer and I care about Northwestern. So it was definitely not a case of girl crying wolf, but instead actually was able to command more respect because I was an active athlete and member of my team.
And with you coming forward when you were at school and then also filing a lawsuit a couple years ago, do you believe, with this new news coming out, with all the things that's going down, do you believe that the senior leaders at the school knew about the hazing that was happening to your team and then also till today?
I knew that for sure they were aware of my team's hazing and abuse because I took it physically to them and then asked for meeting after meeting, and our full team did, with numerous Title IX investigations. So there's no way, at least with cheerleading, they can sit back and say they didn't know, because we have documented evidence that they did know. So I can say that for sure with our team, and then in my mind, there's no way imaginable that they wouldn't have the wherewithal to apply that to other teams, even if they hadn't heard anything from those teams.
Since this broke out, have you received private contact from others that say it happened to me too, that you weren't aware of?
I have. And it's been incredibly upsetting to hear that from them because I wish that wasn't their experience.
So just so people understand the hierarchy here, when a student athlete complains to a coach or coaches, that coach or coaches then I would assume takes it to the head coach. The head coach then has to deal with the athletic director if it's handled properly. Is that right?
No, actually. So cheerleading is not technically a sport at Northwestern, so we sit under different umbrellas. So we had our coach. Our coach, there was no reporting structure. We then took it to marketing, which is technically what we fell under. And then after our marketing person didn't listen to us, we took it to the assistant athletic director for marketing. That person was like, what do you expect? Your cheerleaders, move on. And then we requested meetings with then athletic director, which were all denied. We were not given access to that person. So from there, we filed Title IX claims, complaints, because no one else was listening to us in athletics.
Wow.
It's just an incredible, pyramid of stupid to just look the other way on all this stuff and think it's just going to go away. This isn't the 80s, the 90s. This has nothing to do with Me Too. This is proper treatment of other human beings. And in this case, just radically improper. Well, and the rest of the thing, I think the public needs to know that's hearing this now. This didn't happen that long ago, right?
No. 2021 was when I filed my lawsuit. I had been at Northwestern since 2018, and it had been an issue since then.
What are you doing with your life now?
I live in D.C. I'm just a normal 24-year-old girl working and trying to move on, but in that same token, really working to improve the culture at Northwestern. Because I love my school, and I want better for them.
Yeah, I love Northwestern. I think,
we all love Northwestern.
What is your job? What do you do now?
I work in politics in D.C.
Well, I'm sorry. No, I hope you're connected to something good to try to move the ball forward in a positive way.
I think I am.
Hayden, it's good to talk to you. Listen, you are a very brave young woman, and your voice is needed. So you didn't need to get back into this fray. I'm glad you did. And for younger women in particular, giving them the confidence to speak up is key, because there are people that will listen, and the only upside to this kind of a scene and scenario is that hopefully some people will learn, and there'll be more people that'll listen next time. I would just say, and please, you finish it off here, but if you get to somebody that didn't listen or you don't think they're listening, find somebody else. And I know that's not easy, but it seems like that's the route any woman should take, yes?
Absolutely. Nobody's going to do anything for you. You have to continue to demand action because it's the right thing to do.
Can't vote for you for president for another, 11 years, but but call me when you're ready.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Hayden.